Hello everyone and welcome to the next stream. So this stream we're going to be looking through a walkthrough of Lothric Castle, and we're going to be going through the Grand Archives as well after that. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's get stuck straight into it. So there's an undead bone shard and an Estus shard in the archives, just past the archives area. And there's also an undead bone shard in Lothric Castle as well. One other thing that we forgot to do at the end of the last run was finishing Leonhard's quest, so we should go and do that real quick. So if we go to Rosaria's, now there should have been something changed here because we've got two profaned capital bonfire, so that will, that will mean that Rosaria has died, and so here we can pick up the black eye orb. And so from there, if we go, oh, we've got the grub here as well. That's Hazel's turned into a grub, man grub, unfortunately. Okay, so if we go to Aldrich, we will then come across a spot where the black eye orb will be needing to be used. And this is how we can get Rosaria's soul, which you can transpose for bountiful sunlight, or can't remember what the other thing was. But yeah, it's like a regenerating miracle. So from this bonfire, just come to the left here, come up the elevator, and we'll go to where Guinevere was in Dark Souls 1. So up to the right, and it'll now tell us that the black eye orb is quivering. So if we then get the black eye orb, should be able to use it, and then we'll be invading the world of Rosaria's killer, which we find out is Leonhard. So as you could tell from before, Leonhard wasn't too impressed with well, he didn't want to be comrades with everyone else who was in the Rosaria's fingers. He sort of wanted to do things by himself, and so he had an agenda. He wanted to take out Rosaria and have the soul for himself.
Now you want to ravage her soul as well. I sowed the seeds, I'll prune the mess.
So Leonhard is easiest to spam. Trying to get backstabs on him is actually quite difficult. And he does deal quite a bit of damage. Healing at the wrong times, yeah.
No one will despoil her soul. Certainly no beast wrapped in human skin.
So again, try and wait for him to attack, and then you can go in for the attacks after. At that point, just saw there was enough space for me to get attacked. And the other problem about Leonhard is he will heal quite a bit. So if you got undead hunter charms, they can be useful. Could have got the riposte there as well. And when he heals, you can punish it as well. So Solar Rosario, Crescent Moon Sword, and we also get the Silver Mask that Leonhard had. And that is that part done. Now because I'm doing this area by area, when we go back to Firelink we're going to teleport straight to the Dancer fight. But there is, past the Dancer fight, there is, if you go to the left instead of going straight, there's a way to get another Estus shard from Osiris's area. So that is an option, but because I'm doing it area by area, I'm not going to show you that one right now. When we get to that area, obviously I will, but not just yet. Alright, so Dancer. Oh, we don't have Dancers. Oh, okay. Interesting. I thought we'd already done Dancer. Alright, so you should really be teleporting to Vord's fight. Seeing as I've just teleported to the high wall there, I'll show you the way to Dancer from high wall. It's just where you went to Emma's chamber. So to go to Rosaria, to go to Dancer, just coming down the elevator, and then same way you would go to get to Emma, because we are essentially going there. So you can just wait for Emma. You just talk to Emma if you want here. You can kill her, which would be an earlier way to get up here. But talk to her. So she's very supportive of Twin Princes and their place as a lord. Here comes Dancer. Not entirely sure about why she comes out of the roof as like sort of a liquid form. It's very interesting. I've never really thought about it. Anyway. So Dancer, you sort of want to stay at the left hand and just keep circling around. Try and get right behind the Dancer if you can, but ultimately at this hand that would grab you, try and stay close to that, or by the hip here. So once she does that, she's going to pull out the two swords. Now you can stay behind her, or you can just roll away. Then to roll away. Obviously you shouldn't be rolling into pillars like I did there. I'm just going to get a bit of health back, and then we'll get behind her again. Hold up your shield. This battle is a lot easier with a shield. Sometimes a great shield is a good idea as well, because she does take a lot of stamina off you. If you just stay on this right hip when she does her that sort of fire or dark around her, it's a lot easier as well. And again, using the Mimic Head just gives you those extra bit of souls. You put the base in there and the statue will sort of cut its head off and you'll have sort of blood coming out of the statue. It's a bit of a graphic scene, but to me it represents the idea of... Oh, so that's the way that you want to go if you want to go Osiris. We're going to go straight ahead. But yeah, it kind of represents the sacrifice that we're making, and that's sort of what the Twin Princes were showing, that we're sacrificing ourselves to the fire every time for just an illusion, like there's no point in the sacrifice. So that's what I see out of that that statue there. Because I assume that the princes would have been the ones to put it there, seeing as it leads up towards Lothric Castle and where they're sort of ruling over. Now this bit is easier done by just ignoring these guys. You can kill the ones that buff. You saw that guy buff the Lothric Knight a second ago. You can kill them first, but the easiest way to do it is just to get to this bonfire as soon as possible. And these are quite good to farm for like Titanite chunks or sunlight metals. You can farm them for. The problem is, once those other guys buff these guys, they do a lot of damage. See, like he dropped an ember there. So embers, Titanite chunks, sunlight metals, Titanite shards, large shards. They drop a lot of different things. Or can drop a lot of different things. Coming through the next room, there is a... Hood of Prayer, so the whole prayer gear, which is the Twin Princes gear. Titanite chunk there. Watch out for that crossbow guy up above. As you can see, I try and just kill the closer guys first, but he is quite annoying, so sometimes I will go kill him first. As soon as you get to that barricade, he'll come up from behind, so try and kill him as soon as you can. Okay. Through here, there's going to be a wing knight drop down. They won't drop down until you sort of make a bit of noise in that, so I'll generally hit the barrels to make him fall, and then I can get behind him for the backstab. From the backstab, just as he's sort of halfway up, you can start hitting. That's him. Twinkling Titanite in here, which I'll actually make a note of for my speedruns, because that is good to have. Although you don't really need it at this point in the game. Over here there's the Wing Knight set, and there's the Sacred Bloom Shield. Now Sacred Bloom Shield does allow you to use spell parries, so that is quite useful. Kicking the shield off can be really useful if they hold it up too much. A couple of guys here, you can actually hit them before they come through, so don't even have to worry about fighting them. Titanite chunk there as well. Coming through this next spot, there's a guy with the halberd. If you can get behind him, that's easiest. And there will be that guy throwing the Undead Hunter charms on you. It's not too much you can do about him right there, because there's just too many other enemies nearby. And the firebomb thrower. Both of them here. Try and get that guy before you get... And you can get the Titanite chunks there as well. Soul item. Yeah, watch out for those fire bombs. If you're getting hit too much here, what I recommend is just sort of popping back for a bit until you can use Estus, and then doing this section again. Now, I actually have done this quite a few times, different ways. My best method is just actually running through and then coming back to attack them afterwards, because otherwise you sort of get caught in all those crossbows and have the guy with the axe hitting you. So this is your dragon barracks bonfire. Ember here, so make sure you get that one. I'm going to show you the safest strategy. First we're going to just get the item up here to the left, and then we're going to show you the safe strategy to get the rest of the items. So there's the Great Lance there that you can grab. It is actually supposedly quite a decent weapon, but I haven't really used it much. So across this bridge you want to run as quick as you can. You can use a red bug pellet and things. Wait for the fire and then iframe through the fire. As it's about to hit your character, that's where you go through it. And just keep rolling until you get to the other side of the fire, because they're going to breathe again if you don't. Main thing is getting through that area. Now it's a lot easier. There is a ladder to the right that you can take up. I tend to avoid it though because you get so many fire bombs thrown on you. Just find it easier not to. So take out the first fire bomb thrower. Watch out behind you, you will get swarmed. Take out the swarm. Again, there will be the other fire bomb thrower, so you can get him first if you want to. I just tend to deal with the small guys because otherwise they'll all gang up on you. Fire bomb thrower is gone. I just deal this area to the right because this guy often calls backup, so I try and get rid of the backup first. There are these two thieves over here as well, so if you can get them, that just helps. A couple of scales there, and then there's a couple of guys just here that you want to get so that the mimic doesn't wake them up, just in case you have to battle the mimic. There's one more over here. From there you can grab the pale pine resin, and if you have an undead hunter charm I'd use it on the mimic. We don't, so we'll just take him out normally. Again, this one will sort of roll over, so watch out for that jumping attack where he does that. Right bumper, left bumper as much as possible if he does do that. And then you want to just keep attacking. Jump, roll to the right or the left, that tends to avoid that jumping attack. And he drops 3 Titanite scales as well, and obviously the chance for a symbol of avarice. That will raise up the gate that we saw earlier by the dragons, so that's useful to get. And then if we come down this staircase, we can actually get rid of that dragon, so that's something you really want to do, make future trips easier. Plus you get some good rewards for it. Watch out for these guys. If you start attacking the dragon claw and you haven't killed them, they will come up and try and attack you as well. Get some fire bombs ready if you have them. Oh, we should have something. We've only got 2 black fire bombs, so I'll have to be a bit cautious here. So what you want to do is you want to hit this claw a couple of times. You want to get back. Puzzle Man will spawn. Now I wait until the Puzzle Man has had time to debuff. So watch out for that curse that he sprays everywhere. If you just get back far enough up the staircase, you'll be fine. And then what I'll do is I will throw a black firebomb on him. And I'll actually roll into him. Now this just sort of gets you a little bit safer from his attacks and keeps you behind him. And that just sort of, I've found the easiest way to finish him off. Least amount of firebombs. Otherwise you can just keep using the normal technique of firebomb, stun, and then attack. So he gives you 2 chunks and 2 embers as well, and if you've got the symbol of avarice on, quite a few souls. Plus large Titanite shard and ember. And then I don't think there's any other items out here. I'd always check there, but there's none. Now a couple more items to the right. Don't look to the left. There's actually a crystal lizard to the left. If we just get that chunk. If you look at the lizard, usually he runs away, so try not to. This one's fine. This one you should be able to have no problem. 2 twinkling titanite from that one. And then there's a couple other things you can get. See, this is the area that the dragons were breathing fire down on you from. So refined gems, ember. I think there's another ember up here. And then that takes you through that gate again. So we won't go there just yet. Things to do before we continue on. So this is the area where the dragons were breathing fire. Now you can drop down over here to get the undead bone shard. And if you go a bit further this way, now you gotta really watch out. This guy turns into a pus of man, so try and kill him before you can. There we go. And we get 2 twinks. Titanite chunk. A titanite chunk, and there's another one up top there. We will come back for that other one. Again, try and get that guy before he transforms. Lightning urns behind these barrels. 3 of them. And then that's the lizard I was telling you about earlier. If you don't look at, you don't get too close to from up top. He has 2 twinks on him as well. Watch out for these thieves. I will generally try and get back so they're not all on me. Oh, that was a waste. Yeah, I don't have a hugely good technique for those guys other than don't run too far forward. Try and take them on one at a time. You sort of just keep running forward a little bit, then you get a chance to take them out. There's still one behind me, I think. So I'll try and take these ones out. I'll turn around, hold my shield up, and then we can deal with him. Now there's a wing knight up here, but there is a sniper crossbow, so we're just going to show you where the sniper crossbow is. So what I'll do is I'll get the wing knight to aggro on me. I'll get him to the center here. And then we can just backstab from there. After the backstab, make sure you follow up as he's sort of halfway up. Start swinging. Easy finish. Down here you have got the guy, I think he's the guy who throws the undead hunter charms, so try and get rid of him. Sniper crossbow and bolts there. To the left you've got a soul item. And again, if we go back down, we get to the bonfire. There's one last thing to do, and this is like a long path, unfortunately. But for completeness sake, we're going to do it. So if you drop down to the other side, where those Pus of Man guys were, this is where that other chunk was that I pointed out. And again, I'm just going to follow the same path that we took through all these enemies back around. Okay, so from the bonfire, back up towards the dragons. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go up the staircase, so just to this second flat area where all the fire was. And we're going to go to the left this time. And there's an enemy down the far back here that will throw undead hunter charms to try and get him before he does, otherwise roll to the left or right just to avoid it. And then you should be able to finish him off. There's not too much problems. Raw gem over there. Watch out for the other crossbow guys, there's some enemies out that way. I just ignore them most of the time. No real point to deal with them. Soul item there, and now this is the tricky bit. There is an Irithil Outrider Knight here, so what you want to do is you want to roll as soon as you come past that area. Again, I kind of probably rolled a bit early. What you want to do is you want to try to get behind him and just keep strafing. If you keep strafing to the left or right, you're less likely to get hit by him. roll back if you're too worried, and then just keep strafing left to right. You want to keep your shield up as much as possible as well. Oh, again, get a hit. I don't have to strafe too far, but sometimes you will get hit either way. Erythral Rapier, and then there's lots of items here. There's the Spirit Tree Crest Shield, Titanite Scales. I think there's more Titanite Scales, and then Twinks. So Twink. Oh, okay, just 2 things of Twinks, and 2 more there. 3 Twinks, a Scale, and a Spirit Tree Crest Shield that we just got. Back up the staircase. If we now just continue through this way, this can get really annoying because the guys who buff these Lothric Knights, I actually just recommend getting past them and then dealing with the buff person. Get rid of him. It's a lot easier to beat these guys, and they're already buffed, so I'm not going to even take them on. There is a sunlight metal here, and there's a elevator shortcut back down to the dance area. So if you remember that first Lothric Knight, just past the dancer, to the left of him was that elevator. Now if we continue down this way, there is another way that we can go, so I'm just going to drop down here. That's another Pus of Man. So if you have any firebombs, now's the time. I'm pretty sure we don't. So what I'm going to do... yeah, I'll just have to take him on. That's alright. Usually I'd firebomb him and get behind him. Hopefully that's going to still work. Not the firebomb part, but the getting behind him. So try and stay a bit further away from him if you don't have the firebombs. And then you can roll in behind. If you're behind him, it's a lot easier to get their hits off. There we go. Large Titanite Shard. Again, put the helmet on if you remember. Gives you the extra souls, some chunks and embers. Plus you can get this item over here. Soul item. And then going back inside, there's the Sunlight Straight Sword here. Again, if you've got Undead Hunter Charms, use them. The Sunlight Straight Sword. Interesting thing about the Sunlight Straight Sword is it gives you a buff, a really good buff as a weapon art. Sacred Oath. So, there's another way to get Sacred Oath if you're not a mage character. And there's our last tome as well, so that's a good tome that you can give to Arena for some good miracles. That won't affect a dark quest, that'll be the good quest that you'd be wanting to use that for. So watch this guy who buffs. If you can take out the buffing people first, as I said, it's going to be a lot easier. This guy is pretty much... I'll just try and get backstabs on him. Ah, yeah. Again, I really dislike those Lothric Knights, the ones with the great sword. I will show you a way to beat him. Sort of messed it up that time, but I'll show you where to beat him, and then I won't even worry about the other one. We'll just move on. Pretty much it's just getting your rolls correct and getting the backstabs, I find. So yeah, you can see he's going to get buffed. So bring this guy. Okay, if he does buff, you can sometimes get behind him straight away to get the backstab. That can always be useful. Hit him as he gets up, and then you want to get back. As soon as he runs at you, roll past him, backstab. As soon as he gets up, get the hit in, and you're fine. That's my technique on them. I would recommend it. But my main technique is just run the heck past them and don't worry about them. Unless you're trying to farm for the Lothric Knight Greatsword. But you can actually get that from Grey Rat if you follow his quest line through. Okay, there's one last area to do here, which is important. It gives you the sunlight altar, which you can use to trade your sunlight metals in for Sacred Oath or the Great Lightning Spear. Sorry, Great. I don't even know. Titanite chunk there. So it's a miracle that involves lightning. Let's put it that way. Whoa, and watch out for those exploding bolts. I actually forgot to mention that. Yeah, you don't want to get hit by those crossbows. Crazy damage on those bolts. I try and deal with this guy first. I really haven't found a foolproof way of doing this. I just try and keep rolling as I see those bolts coming. And then roll left, roll right. That helps you avoid them. So much damage from them. So down the ladder, and this is where you can get another ring, so you get the Knight ring I think here. And I think that increases your strength. So if you just need that little bit more strength for a weapon, or you want to deal a bit more damage with a strength weapon, scaling's not ideal. That's where you want to grab that. Now this guy, if you're scared of him, just run past him and open this door. That'll give you a shortcut back to where we were by the Dragon Slayer armor boss fight. And then, again, roll past and backstab would be my method. So back in where he was, there is a chest with some Titanite scales. And there's the sunlight altar that you can firstly get the Praise the Sun gesture from, and secondly you can offer your sunlight metals, as I said. Other than that, not too much to mention. It's straight on to the actually more thing that we can do. Forgot about this area. Up to the right up here there's a couple of things. There's a couple of coins, and there's a couple of scales, I think, or one scale in there. To the other direction, there is... that's right. Okay, there's a couple of things. There's the red tear stone ring, which gives you extra damage if you get onto low health. And if we drop down this way, there's Caitha's Chime, which will help, which will scale with intelligence and faith. So it's used for miracles. I'm actually just going to be a little bit cheeky here and plunge down on these guys and then just roll through. Now, this is a very dangerous area, so I would almost recommend homeward boning there. But just to show you, this is like an extra section, and it just connects back up with where the Irithel Knight, our Iron Knight was, and where the dragons were. So you can just go straight back up the staircase. Again, you can get back to that bonfire if you need it, just to rest up before the boss fight. Dragon Slayer armor is actually a really decent, really hard boss until you get to know him. I've chosen the Irithel Straight Sword, which is a really good weapon because he is weak to frost. But it does depend on your weapon. It does depend on just your ability to roll past his attacks and to judge them, because they're quite slow and he delays them, so you have to be really doing it just before he attacks. So roll just before he attacks and then 2 hits. That's pretty much the combo that I'll keep using. If he does that, get right behind him. He won't hurt you with a slam, and you get a chance to punish. And roll past 1 or 2 hits. In that case, he was actually following up quite a lot. So roll and then roll again. He'll do a 2-hit combo. Sometimes he'll follow that up with 3. Sometimes he'll follow that with even more. The 3 you can just run away from the 3rd, just because sometimes he'll get you if you just roll again. So 2 rolls. Roll forward and to the right as he's about to do that attack. I sort of just missed it there, but I will hopefully be able to show you that again. Okay, hang on. He should do it again, hopefully. Watch out for the gnats when he gets to about half health, the ones at the side. So there, here he goes, and we can roll forward and to the right, and you will completely escape any damage. Or even just mainly to the right. So usually you want to roll forward past his attacks, but for those two-handed attacks you want to roll sort of more to the right than forward. Too busy talking here. So again, if I roll to the right, I'll demonstrate that it's mostly pretty safe. So again, after each hit, you want to get 1 or 2 hits in. Watch out for, again, as you see them doing that laser, you want to just get the other side if you can. Keep moving. I did 2 rolls there because I was expecting to follow that up with 2. So it's a little bit unpredictable. So again, two-handed if I roll to the right, tends to avoid it. And there we go. Dragon Slayer armor. You can watch out for those gnats. They will do laser attacks and they will do those other ones. Try and put the helmet on if you remember. Just for the extra souls. And then there's your bonfire. Now the funny thing about this place is the only thing between this bonfire and the next bonfire is this very short section with 1 item in. And then you've got another bonfire. There's Tarnut chunk just there. And then literally straight up the staircase. And there's your next bonfire. Small point about this area, you can't get into the Grand Archives unless you've beaten 3 of the Lords, so you need to have beaten both Aldrich and Yorm, as well as having swatches. If you haven't beaten Aldrich and Yorm, you won't see this body of Gotthard here, so you won't be able to get the Archives key and the Twin Swords. So if you kill Emma early, you won't be able to get that key, so this is as far as you can get. Now that elevator is going to be a shortcut later, so we will come back down that elevator right by the bonfire. Alright. Opening the Grand Archives, you will get the Sage trying to attack you straight away. I just try and get a couple of hits on him and just sort of get his health down a bit early here. Roll away from that spear and then try and get those couple of hits on before he teleports. What I tend to do here is I'll get the items on the right first, so I just beat these thralls. There are 2 of them, so try and take down one as quick as you can, because then the other one will come, usually. Up the staircase to the left is a chunk, and you'll notice there's another item up there that we're going to get in not too much time. So there's quite a few secrets in this archives that I will be showing you. One of them is a slab as well, and one of them's a crossbow. So he'll give you, I think, a twink and a crystal gem. And then another guy is going to jump down on you as you come to the left here. And then you will get the Crestfallen Knight soul. Now to the right here, there's going to be a thrall jumping down, so you can see him up there. Tarnut chunk, and then we can kill the thrall. Now this bookcase is going to move to reveal a slab a bit later. So just pointing that one out now. These guys just take on one at a time. Try not to aggro too many at once, otherwise you'll end up with them throwing that stuff on you, which slows you down, especially if you get multiple. And you can even get to a point where you literally can't even roll it at all. So see now, if I try and roll, I just kind of stagger. To help avoid curse here, you can actually dunk your head in the wax here if you press A. You'll take some extra fire damage, but it'll just mean you don't develop curse as much, which a lot of books in this area will have like purple hands coming out of them. That'll try and curse you. You can get this guy as he buffs, can make it easier. So I'll just keep whacking him here. As soon as he gets up. If he starts to use a shield or anything, I get back a bit. Wait for the attack, and then get behind them and punish. Make sure you roll to left or right if he tries to do the charge attack. This is the item I said that we're going to get in a second by the thralls. So another Tarnite chunk. And then there's a crystal chime here which allows you to use either sorcery or miracles with it, which is quite useful. So now we're going to go to the right this time, and as we keep going down this direction, look for the crystal lizards. So I'll use the right trigger attack as I'm running to get him and then finish him off. Now watch out for those hands, as I said, that'll build your curse meter up. If you just roll through these tables, it just makes it easier to get this lizard here. So 2 twinkling Tarnites from him. And if we roll through these tables here, you can pull this lever. That's going to open a bookcase just a bit further down. See this bookcase opening. And you can get the Witch's Locks, which is quite a good weapon, as well as the Power Within, which is a pyromancy that will buff you. Power Within doesn't work so well in PvP, doesn't seem to make any difference, but the for PvE, when reversing just normal enemies rather than people, it is quite effective. It does drain your health though, so do be a bit wary of it. Titanite scale just there to the left. There's quite a few scales and twinks in this area. To the right here, there's an item. Once we've got the chunk, again, as we're coming back to the right, there'll be a ladder that'll take us back down to that thrall area from earlier. Right back at the start. This guy will give you a twink, so try and get him, and watch out for the sage. He'll be trying to hit you from above here, so keep moving forwards. I generally go up the staircase first, and then I'll deal with this guy. There will be some thralls that'll come at me from behind. Hold your shield up, and you should be alright with them. Might be one more. There he is. And then what you can do is you can drop down just one step onto here. Watch out for that sage. You'll get the scale. And from that point, I actually forgot to show you. Let's go back. Forgot that you had to be up there. So from this point, you want to be running and jumping. Oh, I stuffed up the jump. Anyway, you want to jump onto here. Obviously, I made it out of pure luck. And then from there, you can get the Avalon crossbow. So Avalon's useful in that it's sort of like Gale's repeating crossbow, I think. So it'll shoot multiple bolts at once. And it also is useful because you can trade it with the crows for, I think, a Tarnite scale or a couple of Tarnite scales. I can't remember exactly. From here, we're back at the starting area. So as you can see, we're back with Crystal Sage, Thralls on the right, and that sort of thing. So if we just go back up the area that we followed earlier, we will be coming back to that bookcase that I showed you before, but we need to pull the lever first. So we've got Kiln, we just need the slab now. So this is the area we went through. I'm just sort of giving you a recap. You can take that ladder back up if you want to. but it's not too long to get through this way. Instead of going back up the staircase to the left, there's a couple of things we can get. So you can get the homeward bones here. We can then go up this ladder. Just gives you a bit of a sneaking attack on this sage. Less likely to hit you. Oh, ouch. Alright, so try and get some hits on the sage, because he'll then teleport away, which means you can deal with these enemies a bit easier. So that's where we went to get the Avalon before. Coming up here, I come up a bit, bait the attack, so make this guy with this thrall with the Flamberge come at me, and then I'll take them out one by one. So I'll take out the Flamberge, I'll then run up the staircase where this guy's throwing firebombs, get him, and then I'll take on the other caster. Watch out for that wax again. You can use this to plunge as well. As you can see, I can't even roll now again. Really annoying when they do that. So to the left here, you can grab Titanite Scale. I'd recommend killing this guy so he doesn't get wax on you, and then avoid the curse. Now there is a Outrider Knight here, but I don't recommend fighting him yet. I would definitely get the shortcuts first. If you take this ladder down, actually sorry, before you take the ladder down, just to the left here, there is a Titanite Scale. Now if we take the ladder down, there is Shriving Stone there. Wouldn't worry too much about the Shriving Stone, to be honest. There is an enemy down that way. I don't think he's even got any items by him, so I wouldn't even recommend bothering with him. You can open this shortcut as well. So now from this shortcut there's a couple of thralls around the other side, so Skull Ring, Titanite Chunk, and then there were some thralls just there normally. I think we killed them earlier. So this is where you're meant to sort of fight the sage. You've got a lot of different attacks, just try and get rid of them as soon as you can. Same as the other Crystal Sage boss fight. You can use the helmet again, get a couple of extra souls, and he gives you the Crystal Scroll, which you can trade with Orbeck as well. We are going to come back. There is an item and a lizard down that direction, so just pointing him out for now. This is a very useful shortcut, so it's sort of the one that I'll use the most in the archives, other than the ones that sort of take you straight from the bonfire up. So this one opens the area to those initial thralls. You can see this is where we got that first item, and I pointed out the other one. Now you can go rest of the bonfire again before you come back up this elevator. Up to you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of do a couple of things at once. So I'm going to open up the rest of the area first. Let's kill these guys. Watch out for the curse. Now, again, I can kill this guy really quick, and then I'm going to move on, grab the soul item, and get out of here as soon as I can, otherwise you will get cursed. You can sort of use that staircase ladder as well to get up there. Either way it works. Don't have to kill these guys if you want to though. Really quick in and out. Don't in there. I didn't even manage to kill him in that time. And there's going to be a lizard here. Just try and stay to the right of him and then stop him from running all the way down that corridor. We'll come back for that item later once we're less full of curse. Now just backtracking because there's a couple of things that we have missed before we go any further. Just trying to think of the best way to show you these. So there was a lever that we needed to press. If I come this way. Yeah, there's another place you can dunk your head in there as well. If you want to avoid curse a bit easier. So this is where there's a lever. So if you just get through those cursing hands. Now that'll open that bookcase that I told you about before, where the slab is. Watch out for those thralls, we didn't kill them actually. And now that we've opened that bookcase, there is another way down that we can take, which will get us the crystal lizard as well. So if we drop down just to the left here, and then drop down again. Oh, we just missed him there. There we go, got him. There's your Tarnite scales, and if we just come, so we're in the area with all these candlestick people. Now this is where the bookcase was I showed you earlier. You come past the bookcase, you can get Tarnite slab. So you want to make sure that you get that in this area. It's very easy to forget to do. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the sort of quickest other things. So there's one item up here, and if you come from up here back down, I'm just trying to think. There is a quick way back to the bonfire. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a way back to the bonfire, because I'm on 2 Estus, so I definitely need Estus. And if I need Estus at this point, you're most likely going to need Estus as well. So I'll show you the quick way. If you just come back down this ladder, I think that's pretty much the first point that you can come back down to the bonfire. So this will take you back down to the first point with the thralls. And if we just come out the main doors, there's your bonfire. So have a rest of the bonfire, and then we'll go back up the elevator. Sorry, elevators to the right. Oh, okay. You can sometimes just ignore them. Make sure it is there. I have multiple times fallen off. You can see other people have done it as well. They've just run off. I actually once had an invader send the lift up, and then I just thought the lift was still where it was, and turns out it wasn't. So, goodbye, Ember. Alright, so this area is where we've already fought these guys. I'm not going to worry again this time. We've got the scales from the left there. And we got the item on the right. Now, this area is where the lizard was, so if we run, stay on the right hand side to start off with, make all those hands come up, grab the fleshbite ring, and then you want to stay on the other side just to avoid curse a bit more. Very dangerous area, that one. From here you can drop down to the left, and if we come to the right here, we've got a Titanite chunk, if I remember correctly. Roll underneath the gargoyle. A lot of rolling is good here. Try and hit them from the back or the front to the side so that you hit the wings a lot. If he holds his wing out, just hang back until he stops. Roll through it. If you hit him with his wing up, that's what he does. He'll sort of counter-attack you. Best to try not to. Coming back up to the right, there are a couple of things here to get. I'm going to go up first, and then we're going to drop down by the Corvians there. Now, he will come back for Grey Rat's ashes later on, so Grey Rat does actually die in this castle, unfortunately. But we haven't told him to pillage Lothric Castle yet, so I don't think his ashes will be here yet. So soul item there. There is actually a shortcut down that direction. You can jump across, and that'll sort of make this area a bit quicker. But it just means it's not sort of the normal way to do it. Try and get these guys together. As you can see, I managed to get both there. The heavy gem, and then the other one's got the sharp gem. As well as twins. Okay, coming out this direction there is there's a chunk further down. Okay, we won't go that way yet. So that's the normal way that you want to go. But there is, as I said, the area with the Corvians down here. I'm actually going to try and avoid the Corvians, hopefully. See how we go. Try to take them on one at a time. Try and kill one. Just going to save you a bit of extra work. Now you want to get out of here because they're going to all come at you. Try and follow this area down. There's a hollow gem here. If you follow that area down, you're less likely to get ganked. And then you should be able to take them on a bit more 1v1. Use your shield as well. Try and get behind them. And I'm pretty sure if you come down this direction and you jump across, that Grey Rat's ashes are normally here. I think that's where, yeah. I think that's where Grey Rat's ashes are. So there's the Titanite scales there, and then this is just going to take us back into the castle. So I did point out the one area in the castle a little bit of time ago. If you come back up this ladder, through here to the right, there was this invisible door, so I pointed at this before. This one is going to be where you can get Soul Stream from, and you actually want to get behind this guy again, so wait for him to attack, get behind him, get the attacks on, and then try and strafe to the side. Oof, get back if you need to heal. Oh, I'm rolling a bit too early. Yeah, I am frostbitten, so everything's a little bit slower. Gotta allow yourself some extra time. And you can get the Outrider outfit from that. And then there's the Soul Stream just at the back. Other than that, that's all the items in the actual archives themselves. Now it's the rooftops where we're going to get... there's a couple of things actually in the archives, sort of upper level. But mostly that's this area done. So as I said, we'll come back for Grey Rat's ashes. We'll have to come back for Orbek's ashes as well. So there's a couple of things still to get here. Majority we've got. Alright, so back where we were when we dropped down to the Corvians. We're going to come up to the left. We're going to continue straight, hugging the rock wall to the right. Drop down, grab the Titanite chunk. Now there's going to be 2 gargoyles here. I actually recommend just rolling through them. You're less likely to get hit that way. And there's not really any items that you really need, so I just come straight in this door. I'll take on this guy before I do anything. And then I will grab the ember. And I'll get the undead bone shard. Make sure you get the undead bone shard. And you can kick this ladder. This is a shortcut down to where all those cursed things are. Another area to dunk your head if you want to. Some thralls. So what you want to do is you want to have them fall and then finish them one at a time. Use your shield. Now this guy is really dangerous. There's an item just to the left here. I'm just going to grab that first. So there's 2 Titanite chunks. And then, again, try and roll behind this guy to get the backstab. Not easy, I will admit. If he buffs, it's the perfect time to get behind him, but again, you're risking getting really badly hurt by his attack. Backstabs make a massive difference though. He doesn't have any guaranteed drops, he's the same as the other Lothric Knights, but that crystal infusion is pretty crazy. Crystal buff, should I say. There's a couple of NPCs here. There's different methods people use. I've only got one ember, so I'm going to show you what method I normally use, which is grab this item, roll again, run, and just get this elevator down back to the bonfire, and then deal with them from behind. Okay, so we'll just rest at the bonfire. And then we've got a couple other things to do up here. Still the Estus shard that we want to get, and there's still a ring, miracle I think it is, and some twinks and stuff. Whoa! Okay. I typically try and get them lured one by one, so you'll see that I just keep rolling back and making sure that not everyone can hit me at once. Godhard will really try and hit you, as you can see. I think they do have Estus as well though, so you really want to try and finish one off at a time. Here comes Godhard. Try and avoid that weapon art. It's quite deadly. Sometimes even trading can be useful, just so that you don't have them healing you like that. So watch out for that. Just roll to the side. Now, she will often parry me, so what I'll typically do is I'll try and use jumping attacks, so that you can't. And then you can pick up the Golden Ring Crest Shield from Lionel Albert, Sage's Crystal Staff from Creamheld, and then Onkiri no Badachi from Godhard. So from there, this is the elevator that we took down. I tend to send it back down just in case I want to farm. Like there's a good area for farming up here on the left. So so that bridge is going to take you to Lothric and Lorien, the twin princes, whereas this area is going to take us to the rest of the items, as well as the 3 winged knights up here, the golden ones. Soul item there. Now the winged knights are what give you potentially 30,000 souls or more if you've got the right farming gear. So they can be really good. What I want to do is show you the typical method I'll use. So I will walk forward, wait for them to drop. I sort of looked up with my camera so I could see them drop. And now you'll see they've dropped down. So I'll wait for that one of the halberd, the twin axes to sort of come towards me. And if you haven't done it already, a good waiting technique is just to come and grab the Estus shard here. You'll see it's the one area of the roof that actually extends quite a bit further through the archway. And now that twin axes guy is coming towards me, you can roll past him, backstab, and backstabs are the best thing to do here. Try and hit them as they're getting up. Don't hit too soon. As you see, I hit a bit too soon, so I didn't really do any damage. Again, just keep trying to circle around them, backstab them, wait for them to get half up, and then you can hit. If you've got a mendicant staff, you can switch to that as you kill them, just to get that extra souls. And you can always have the symbol of avarice equipped the whole time for extra souls as well. So again, try and roll past any attacks they do if they're flying. Find them as quick as possible, backstab. Get those couple extra attacks in, and then you want to get away from them just to see what they're going to do. And then rinse and repeat, keep backstabbing and finishing off. I heal just to get the Lloyd's ring active again to deal a bit more damage. Try and roll away if they're too close when they start that spin attack. And again, you'll see the backstab method is just so much easier because it gives you that chance to punish afterwards. Oh, I rolled a bit too early there. Keeps just strafing around them as well. They don't have the best turning circle. There you go, you will get a slab and a chunk for beating them. A slab is definitely guaranteed, which is amazing. Getting your weapons to +10 or +5 if it's a boss weapon. So climbing up the ladder, there is the Hunter's Ring, which I think increases your dexterity. And then what we're going to do now is we've got a couple of rafters that we're going to drop down onto, which are inside the archives, the sort of top level of the archives. This is where the miracle is. Divine Pillars of Light. Drop down here. Now my method for this section is I drop down, I run across, I drop down again. Try and avoid that guy, he's going to just at you. There was a shriving stone somewhere here, but that's pretty much the only item that you want on this area. Try and just hold your shield up just in case he does use that attack on you. And then you don't want to be too close to him when he sort of writhes around as he dies. If you've got like fire bombs or something, you can use those on him. From there, take this ladder down, and there you'll get your Divine Blessing and 3 Twinkling Titanite. So, a couple of good rewards for all of that. You can drop back into the archives there, but yeah, I recommend just homeward boning from that point. Gonna go to the Shrine Bonfire and just level up, and then we'll be coming for the princes in a second. Now remember, I sent that elevator back down, so we'll be using that to get back up towards princes. So 40 strength, 40 dex is where you want to be really. Getting some more endurance can be useful. Getting more strength and dex, you still will get some benefits. But I'd put in endurance once you got there. Could even get a bit more health as well. Never hurts.
Farewell, Ashen One.
I will use the Undead Bone Shards and Estus Shards as well here.
Be careful.
And then we'll talk to Orbeck.
Back again, I suppose.
And we can give him the so Logan's scroll was from the Profaned Capital area.
A masterful sorcerer, long missed in Vinheim, and now we have his scroll.
Reference back to Dark Souls D had Logan. And then the Crystal Scroll from the Crystal Sage.
Crystal sorcery, created by the Pale Dragon, thought only to exist in legend. I am ever grateful to you. This is truly sublime. I am afraid this is a debt I cannot repay. Only, I will be sure to unravel it for you. Just a moment.
So then you can learn all those sorceries from him. So, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to be using the boss souls to trade, so I'll probably have a couple extra souls. I've also got some soul items, so I might even just use the soul items. We can give her all those ashes as well. You'll see there's quite a bit more that she's selling now as well. So we can sell the soul items. I'm going to sell the big ones because I want to buy quite a bit. So to finish Orbeck's quest, you need to buy all the sorceries from him. So let's go ahead and start buying them. Homing Crystal Soul Mess, Crystal Soul Spear, both really good ones. Crystal Magic Weapons, pretty good as well. And should be... Oh, we got Soul Stream already, that's right. So once you buy all of the light sorceries, or the spook and stuff, he'll give you a couple things. So he'll give you Silent Ally, gesture and that.
You're a fine soul. You should have some. Go on.
And he will also give you Young Dragon Ring at some point.
This is a sign, a cipher, employed by sorcerers who use quietude to their advantage.
And he gives you the Slumbering Dragon Crest Ring as well, which makes you silent footsteps.
You can be sure to tell friend from foe from your very first. It's a very old practice at this point, but one that you deserve to know. In Vinheim, I was a sorcerer only in name. A killer for hire. What a fool I was, thinking one day I would learn real sorceries. When I became undead, I was exiled from the school, but here I am. Now, exploring the depths of sorcery. All thanks to you, I might add. You are no ordinary. All these sorceries, and you've mastered every... If this were the dragon school, you'd be... well, overtly despised and from the place. Well, I suppose it's time I pack my bags. I would hate to see our agreement end sourly. Better left, tucked away, as a pleasant memory. You are no ordinary.
So yeah, once you talk to Orbeck fully, you'll be able to find his ashes in the archives. He does die. Same as you can talk to Cornix, not same as, sorry, but yeah, we've given him all the tomes that we can. I think we can reinforce Pyromancy Flame. Nothing really else to be done with him. Got Carla there. We're not going to deal with Carla just yet. What I want to do first is finish Irina's questline. Now she can actually become a Firekeeper for you, and she'll be in the tower where the Swordmaster was guarding before. So we can give her the Braille Divine Tome. Now those two are the dark quest lines, so we'll give that to Carla.
Oh, you've brought me a Braille Divine, and now I can tell new tales of miracles. Tales of the greater miracles can be quite the epics. What fun we will have.
And then again, so in order to have her become a Firekeeper, you need to purchase all of the miracles from her. A couple of good ones there, like Blessed Weapon and Tears of Denial as well. And Caressing Tears can be good to get rid of status ailments like poison and that. And there's some healing ones as well. Make sure you get the Saint's Ring from her. Yep.
Thank you ever so much. May your solemn duty conclude in.
I think if you talk to her again now, she will.
In my home of Karim, I was a nun.
Talks about
I
being a
would be
nun.
pleased to- Although to be honest, if I had a divine, terribly sorry. You know, in my I would be although if
I thought she does. You might have to actually reload the area and then talk to her again
May your solemn
to have her become the Firekeeper in the tower. So I'm pretty sure Carla doesn't really have an ending to her quest line,
As I
but
said, I am Carla, and am grateful to you. Now, the
we
only
can give her
thing
quite a
that
few
interests you
things.
Is my source, although my dark arts are that wouldn't interest you.
So asked to learn dark sorceries,
Very well.
and
Humans are of the dark. Some may avert their eyes, but the truth remains the truth. Be careful, though. Few humans are privy to this knowledge. Let it be a secret, kept between you and I.
so I think she wants sorceries first of all, so we'd give dark sorceries. I don't think we actually have to learn them though, so I'm not sure what's next. I think Pyromancy Tome she'd want.
Quelana, Witch of Izalith. Very well. I will
Yep,
unravel
so she'll
the
learn
sides.
Pyromancies. Now you have to
Play master.
give her Pyromancies before you give her miracles, otherwise she won't accept them.
Oh, another pyromancy tome, have we? And one that resonates with the dark. Yes. Well suited to me.
What? That's not what we want. Sorry guys. Connection lost. Anyway, so we're giving her pyromancies first, then we're giving her miracles, and that'll be pretty much all the spells in the game, as long as you follow this walkthrough really well, and then we'll still have the DLC ones that we can get as well.
Ah, yes.
Yep, so we're giving her the pyromancy terms.
Oh, what on earth do you think I wouldn't go near and casters of me, so don't.
Ah, that's right, we have to give her the Londor one first.
Oh, I know. Fine.
She's more interested in it because it's
But
more
do
dark.
understand, I'll have no sniggering.
And then you can give her the deep braille.
I know. Fine then. But I'll have no sniggering.
And then you can see all of the what she sells being there. Rapport is a really useful one. It can turn enemies onto your side. Some of these are really powerful, like the black one. The dark ones are usually quite powerful, and Firestorm's quite useful as well, just to give you that sort of range attack around you, sort of an area of effect one. Alright, so to complete Greyrat's quest as well, we need to talk to him, and he's going to go and head to Lothric Castle.
That castle is a death trap. Not a single man has returned from the castle unscathed. But I don't want to sit around and
And again, he will die here regardless.
Thank you for placing your... Don't you worry. Don't you...
And again, if you're going to do that, make sure you've bought everything you want from him. So I would buy those divine blessings and everything first. I'm not too worried at this point because I know I'm going to pick up his ashes, but just to be safe, what we can do is we can just sell some items to him, and then we can purchase. And if you need more embers as well, you can grab those here. I'm going to actually just sell the rest so I can buy the rest of those things from Carla.
Goodbye. Do stay safe, you hear? Or my efforts will have been for naught.
So Greyrat is going to die at Lothric now.
Ah, yes.
So let's learn the dark sorceries and everything from Carla. I don't think we're going to have enough actually for everything.
Don't stop.
Let's just make sure we finish buying everything just for completeness sake. That should do it.
Ah, yeah.
Maybe not. 2,000. Probably.
And
So. That'll do it.
goodbye.
Ah, oh.
There we go.
Do
So I don't think there's anything else from Carla.
There is one thing, there is a darkness within man, and I am afraid whether the fear will spark self-reflection or a ruinous nostalgia is up to you, and fear not. There is one thing,
Yep, alright.
do stay safe.
And then we will talk to Yuria.
Ah, speak freely, thy lordship. Our lord, and I prithee, when the moment cometh, the age of fire, the gods are no more. Our Lord of Hollows, it shall be.
So that's reference to the Lord of Hollows ending.
Peace.
And she still wants the Orbix ashes as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get everything we can from Lothric Castle, just to finish off all the NPCs. Obviously we didn't do Sirius. That you'd have to do in New Game Plus, but I did talk you through each of the areas. So with Sirius you have to make sure you get those Dream Chaser's ashes, talk to her in Firelink, and then help her on the bridge with Creighton at Irithel. And then if you kill Creighton, you can come back and talk to her again. And then from there, you need to help her after you've killed, I think it's Aldrich. If you go back to where you were killing the Greatwood before, her sign will be down there, and you can help her kill Hodrick. Which is her grandfather, actually. Okay, continuing on. Lothric Castle, so probably the best place to go back to is just literally the Grand Archives. And you can talk to Patches, I think, about Lothric Castle as well, but I don't think it's going to make any real difference. You can't keep Greyrat alive here. And if you give his ashes to the handmaiden though, she will still sell you all of the things that he would. Once we do some Archdragon Peak and that, we'll be able to finish Hawkwood's quest as well. And then I think that's pretty much all the quest lines. Okay, so let's go get Orbex first, and then Greyrat. So Orbex, we're going to take the elevator up. And sorry, don't go too far. It should actually be here on one of the chairs. Entirely sure why it's not. I will check up on that. Maybe you actually have to kill the princess before it appears. I think that might be what happens. Same as grey rats. Grey rats will be here. Should be here. Okay, grey rats is there already. There's grey rats ashes. Okay, so I think Orbeck, we're going to have to, yeah, because I think Orbeck will help you with princes if you want him to. So his sign will actually be down, just sort of outside the massive doors by the prince's bonfire. So that's why he won't yet have died. Alright, time to take on princes. Actually, there's one more item before we take on princes. We're almost there. And again, I'll just send that back down. And just a note, now that we've killed Lion Knight Albert, you can get the Faram armor that he had, as well as I think Gotthard's armor from Shrine Handmaid. Honestly, this section you can fight them all individually, one by one, but it's such a long section that pretty much you can just run through. Just exhaust your Estus, really. There's no other real point. So if you run to the right at the end of the bridge, this gives you this elevator. This goes down to near where the Dragon Slayer armor boss fight was, so I'll just sort of point out where it goes to. While I'm pointing that out, send this elevator back up and we'll catch the one that comes... Oh. Send it back up and we'll catch the one that comes up from there. So you can see that's where the Dragon Slayer armor boss fight was. The bonfire Dragon Slayer armor would just be through there. So now that we've sent that elevator back up, we can actually take it back down. And then we can get a Titanite slab from here. Three Titanite slabs that you can get from Lothric Castle and Archives. It's pretty cool. Now you can always homeward bone from there, just to keep the elevator still being in its place, which means you don't have to sort of send it up, send it down, and do all the heaps of things. But yeah, if you don't want to, you can just send it back down here. Wait for that top one to come down, and then we'll ride that one up to the Twin Princes. Could be a little bit dangerous, just warning you, because we're going to still have all the enemies there. And then what I always do when I get to the top of this elevator is I'll send this elevator back down, just in case I die to the princes. Which now doesn't happen very often, but it used to happen very, very often. I gave up Dark Souls for a bit of time when I got to princes the first time, because they destroyed me. So there should be Orbeck's sign here. Yeah, so you can summon Orbeck for this fight. And if you followed Sirius's questline, you can actually summon Sirius from in here as well. Sirius will sort of appear just outside this boss arch. To the left, round about here, I think. That'll be Sirius's sign. Okay, let's take on the princes.
Oh dear. Another dogged contender. Welcome, unkindled one, purloiner of cinders. Mind you, the mantle of Lord interests me none. The fire-linking curse, the legacy of lords, let it all fade into nothing. You've done quite enough. Now have your rest.
Prince's fight appears really difficult the first time you do it. As you can see, he's already hit me, so you can be quite annoying, but if you roll behind him and sort of stay attached to his left arm, the one that he's not using right, like his non-sword arm. For this attack, if you can run behind him, you can get a couple of attacks in. And again, just stay attached to his left arm. And you can sort of roll past. I rolled a bit early there. Hold your shield up. Does help. Does save you if he does manage to hit you. Again, 1 or 2 attacks. Usually 1 attack in. They are quite boss battle. Got a ultra great sword or something. It takes a long time to swing. Watch out. Roll to the right or left as the sword hits the ground if he does that attack. You can stagger him, sorry, riposte him as well if you get him to stagger.
Oh, dear brother, I'm on my way. Brother, unyielding sword of Lothric's prince. As if you would, for that is our curse.
Curse of the undead. Alright, so for the start of this, just keep spam rolling right or left. Make sure you roll away from Lothric and Lorien. You can get behind that that fire attack do. Now what you want to try and do for this battle is try and actually hit both of them at once. So if you can get behind them before you hit, that's the easiest. Just because then you're hitting both of their healths, because Lorien will just keep reviving until you kill Lothric. Which you can use. Some people do use the strategy of just keep killing Lorien and then just deal with Lothric once Lorien falls, because you get this opportunity now where Lorien falls. Wait back when he does that attack, so you can get a couple more hits in, and then you can finish him off. But yeah, some people will just keep killing Lorien until yeah, Lothric will keep dropping off, keep getting attacks on Lothric. So if you struggle to get behind them, you can just fight him as normal. And then just make sure you hit Lothric when he falls off. So that's Princes in a nutshell. Time to go for Sindar now. But before we do Cinder, let's go and see that Orbic's ashes are back at the castle. Okay, so again, let's go and see that Orbic's ashes are back there. Because this will allow us to get the Marian Blade, if we do. Yep, so you'll see Orbic there. Ashes. Alright, let's head back to the shrine. So again, if you want to get the End of Fire ending, you want to actually head to where I showed you Osiris was, and you want to head through all the way through the Untended Graves, get the Eye of the Firekeeper from the Flameless Shrine there, and you want to give them to Firekeeper here. That's for the End of Fire. Usurpation of Fire I've showed you how to do. Link the Flame. If you don't do either of the other two endings, you'll get Link the Flame as like a default, so it's the easiest one to get. Okay, what do we need to do? We need to give Orbic's ashes, so you can give them to the handmaid to still get the sorceries, but seeing as we've gone and made sure we've bought all the sorceries, we can now give that to Yuria, so tell of Orbic's death, give Orbic's ashes, and then we'll get the Marian Blade, which sort of acts as a red tearstone ring, gives you extra damage when your health's low. And they stack as well, so you can actually have 2 Marian Blades and it will increase that.
A Londor treasure befitting of a true lord. Lord of Hollows, may the dark sigil guide thy way. Be safe, I
Now you can get Yuria's set and Dark Drift if you summon her for the final battle. You can still get it if you kill her as well, so there's 2 ways of doing it. I know I said I wasn't going to summon any NPCs, but I am going to summon her just for the final battle, just to show how to sort of go about that one. You have to keep her alive though, for that final battle.
I just dropped in to see how she's getting on now. Well, this cesspool of duck couldn't be better. She must...
The other thing is, we haven't actually fully finished Arena's questline, so now that we've beaten the princes, we should be able to finish hers. Yep, so Arena has moved. And the other thing we can do is we can actually give Grey Rat's ashes.
Passing and awfully warm, almost as if it had lived mere moments ago. Oh, forgiven. Oh, I'm sure an ashen one such as thee would never indulge such base contrivances.
So you can now get everything that Grey Rat had from the Handmaiden as well. So like twinkling and scales and that. And all the arrows as well.
Ashen One, bring me up with, is it not? Ashen One.
So, if we just come out the top section here, and around the side, up to the tower. Oh, we haven't unlocked the tower again, I forgot about that. But, Irina is in there. Let's just go do it real quick. The other thing I don't know if I showed you, there's that ladder up there as well. So once we follow the tower up, you can actually drop down from up the top onto the ledge just a bit below that. And then you can get to that ladder to kick it back down. Just lets you get to the birds a bit easier. So you can just drop, probably easiest onto that one first. And then you can just drop down. Drop down. Down further. That's your Estus ring. And there's Irina.
Sweet Gillette's souls be.
So you can level up with Irina now. And then this is the door that we to where Swordmaster was. Okay, let's go finish off the game. Now there is one thing after the end of the game, and there is coming back for Uria's set as well. So after we've beaten Cinder, and I will be doing the extra areas as well afterwards, which will be like Archdragon's Peak and Osiris, and then going into the DLCs. We will do them. So we should still have 1 or 2 bone shards to use. Okay, so next step is to put all the ashes on the thrones. So I'll generally do Abyss Watchers first, just get that out the way. And then the other 3 are really close to each other, so. Sorry, it wasn't Abyss Watchers, I think that was Yorm actually. I don't remember. Maybe it was. So you got the Twin Princes, you've got that's Abyss Watchers, so Elon must have been Aldrich, and then you've got Yorm here. So those are our cinders, and now you'll see the Firekeeper walks up to the bonfire. And so we can come and kneel at the bonfire. So we brought all of the lords to their thrones.
Lords of Cinder. The fire fades. And the lords go without thrones. Surrender your fires to the true air.
It almost feels like a kingship ceremony where you're sort of having those ashes upon your head.
To the old gods of Lordrin, deliverers of the first flame.
This is your sort of flameless shrine. Everything's without fire now. So we're gonna go over to the Kiln of the First Flame, which is what Gwyn linked. Might have a hint as to who the last boss is gonna be reminiscent of. Just as a side note, the first form of the final boss here sort of represents all of the player characters. So you'll see he'll choose some forms like a sort of quality build. Like he doesn't really do a strength build. I suppose his strength is a sort of quality build. He does a dex build with like a spear type thing. He does a pyromancy build. He does a mage build. He even has a couple of healing spells in there, so he sort of represents all of the players who have gone and linked the flame previously. And once we get to form, you're going to notice, so it's a bit of spoilers here, but you're going to notice Gwyn's music as soon as you get to second form, so it's like Gwyn being the second form, the first one to link it. Sort of doing all the rest of the people who linked it, and then sort of going back to the first person who linked it. Try and roll through his attacks, and then once you roll through an attack, you get a chance for 1 or 2 hits. Roll through, and then you can heal. And then try not to heal unless you either roll through or you run back. Dodge. This is the mage form. It's quite dangerous. Mage and pyro are probably the worst. Like in terms of the hardest to. He will have the soul spears, he will have that homing mass. This is the pyro, so he'll be using his sort of double attacks all the time, so you've got to just kind of hang back if you can. You can put toxic mist on you, you can use power within as well. There's the toxic mist, the poison mist. And then he's going to roll back and he's going to use power within to sort of buff and get stronger. Use that opportunity to sort of stagger him a bit. And now just get far enough away from him, he's going to sort of turn into Gwyn. You'll hear the music. Get 1 or 2 attacks in, and then you want to get away because his second attack, it's pretty much always a second attack after he changes form. He'll do that fire combo. Oops. Watch out for that grab attack. It's very dangerous as well. Fire combo and the grab attack are probably the worst. His attacks are a bit more delayed in this, so as long as you're not being too aggressive, you'll actually do a bit better. If you start trying to finish him too quick, you're more likely to get hit. just wait for that delay in the attack, and then you can actually roll through those attacks if you are not expecting the fire combo. So if you rhythmically time it, that you roll each time he sort of makes a swing, and you get out of the way. If he jumps back like that, you get a chance to get lots of hits on him while he does that, but then get ready to roll to the side to avoid the lightning. Now you'll usually kick and then grab, so get ready for a grab. Okay. Usually it'll be a grab after that, I think. Anyway, and that's Cinder for you. That's the final boss of the base game. Now we do have all the optional bosses that we have missed. We did the Great Wheel, I'm pretty sure, but we have missed quite a few of others, so we'll have to go back for them. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next stream where we go through some of the optional areas, and then we'll be going through the DLCs once we've completed all the optional areas. So thank you guys, and hope to catch you in the next. Hang on, just before we finish. So let's actually get the ending. I'm gonna put on my dark ring. Use right eye as well instead normally. I put on the dark ring just to look a bit more human, and then we're gonna go for a nice royal ending. Do we have any nice royal outfit? Maybe the Drang. Quite like the Drang outfit. So you get this time to sort of change it up, and this is going to be your sort of usurpation of fire. So as long as you followed Yuria's quest line the whole way through. Actually, before we do the linking of the flame, let's go back to the shrine, and we should be able to get Yuria's stuff, I think. I think you have to link the flame first, but I don't want to miss showing you Yuria's stuff. Oh, we forgot to summon Yuria for the final fight, so we won't have.
So that we hollows. Oh Lord,
Okay, so if you haven't summoned Yuria, you can kill her here to get the stuff. I actually forgot to show you Yuria's summon sign. That's a bit annoying. So you'll get Dark Drift as well, which is the invisible katana from killing Yuria.
Well, it's as if but take as binder isn't.
And then if you give Yuri's ashes, you will be able to get the build mask and all of Yuri's clothing. Oh, you should be able to get. Yeah, there we go. Build mask, black dress, black gauntlets, black leggings.
Ashen one.
Very well. Then he. Ashen one. Made.
So what we can do is we can go link the flame. So you can do that at any time, and it won't force you into New Game Plus yet. So as long as you followed Yuri's questline, you should be able to still do the usurpation of fire. So this is where you'll take that fire into yourself. See, there's actually Henri in the background there as well. This is where you get the credits. You can press start to go through that, and then it'll ask you if you want to start the next journey. As long as you say no here, and I would always recommend saying no, because what you can then do is you can get another slab from the Shrine Handmaiden if you buy that. So that's the reason why I would say no, and then even if you want to go straight into the next journey, you can buy that first and then go to the next journey. So you need 30,000 to buy it from the handmaid. Only comes now. There's your slab. You can always get the embers as well.
Ashen one.
Okay, thank you guys for watching, and we will do the optional areas, and we'll be moving on to the DLC next time. I'm just going to change my ring back, and then I'll see you in the next one. Thanks guys, hope you enjoyed it, hope it was useful, and yeah, catch you in the next one. Bye for now.